If you've been told you have osteoporosis, osteopenia, or low bone density and feel overwhelmed by all the conflicting information out there, you are not alone. That is exactly what happened to my client Laura when she first came to me. She was 61, active, super fit, and suddenly unsure if strength training was safe or even where to begin. And this is where I want you to listen closely, because we get so scared when we get a diagnosis of low bone density, osteoporosis, or osteopenia. And what worked for Laura might be the exact path that you can take so that you have less fear and more information, because information is power, and information is what helps eliminate fear. If you're not sure who I am, my name is Winnie Lingovic. I'm a strength and mobility coach, a best-selling author, and I've spent the last 45 years, I am 59 years old, and I started when I was 14, helping women move well, get stronger, and feel better in the body they live in. And I do that by creating programs that work on your strength, mobility, flexibility, and more important, mindset. In this video, I'm sharing the exact plan I used to help Laura build strength after her osteoporosis diagnosis, so you can see what's possible when you stop guessing and start training smart and have the right mindset. When Laura first reached out to me, she was pretty panicked because her doctor told her to be careful, but didn't really explain what that meant. Online, she saw all this conflicting information. Lift weights, don't lift weights. Stretch, don't stretch. Be careful, don't fall. And it basically just scared the heck out of her, and she didn't know what to do. And everything that she did, and the things that she used to do, and the things she wanted to do, it all felt risky. So she was operating from a place of fear, which is never useful or usable. She didn't want to do the wrong thing. She didn't want to hurt herself. She wanted to stay active. But she also wasn't exactly sure what be careful meant. She didn't want to sit back and do nothing. Intuitively, she knew that wasn't the right choice because she had already been active. She wanted to stay strong. She wanted to get strong. She needed advice. She needed the right plan so that she could do that. What Laura needed wasn't more conflicting advice. She needed a plan. So when she came to me, we focused on 4 essential areas. Strength training, number 1, using specific, safe, effective exercises to build muscle while protecting joints and bones. And that sounds really complicated, but it's pretty simple when you know some basic principles of strength training and what to do for osteoporosis. We also worked on balance, super important, and stability so that we could feel better outside in the real world and reduce the risk of falling. What also happened was that she got better at her day-to-day things that she does, like hiking, walking, and riding her bike, and just feel more balanced and steady in her day-to-day activities. And of course, this is a given, we worked on core strength using smart, spine-safe movements that avoided strain and built strength. And again, that might sound complicated, but it's not. Another thing we worked on is mobility, because building strength without mobility is like building a house on a crooked foundation. Let's say you have some fabulous exercises that'll get you stronger, but you don't move well through them. They're not very useful or usable. So mobility is a super important part of Laura's program, and I suggest it be a super important part of your program. Oh, and down in the description, you'll find links of some follow-along videos so that you can work on strength training, balance and stability, core strength, and mobility. So what changed for Laura? This is what Laura is doing now that she wasn't doing before. She's lifting weights, strength training, consistently and safely. She's following a structured plan, and that's super important because a lot of times we're trying to randomly do this and that, and there's no plan to follow, and that's why we don't get stronger. So that structured plan is super duper important. She also knows, and this is something that I specialize in, she knows how to modify movements based on how she's feeling. So for example, her strength training program, if she wakes up feeling super sore, she knows how to make it a little bit easier, a little bit more user-friendly so that she feels good doing it without getting more sore in her body. Another thing She stopped second guessing everything. She's not afraid anymore because now she has a structured plan that works. And not being afraid, I think, is the most important thing for approaching your exercise program, because we work much better when we have information instead of fear. So that's her transformation, how she went from being afraid to having a structured plan. And it's not just physical. It's not just the strength that she has after doing these things. It's how she feels in her mind, her mindset. There's less fear. And I think when we get that diagnosis, we're so freaked out. There's so much fear. And the first thing that we need to do is gather information and have a plan. And if you're not sure where to start, I do have this free, super fabulous 5-day structured beginning strength training program so that you can get started at home with less fear, more confidence, and actually do something that's good for your body. And that is in the description below. And I also work a lot on creating custom plans because everybody is a little bit different. And what you want is a customized plan that works for you. What's really important, it doesn't matter if it works for someone else, if it's designed for your 18-year-old nephew or your 26-year-old niece. What we want to do is we want a plan that works for you. So I do work with clients one-to-one. If this sounds like something you want, please reach out. There is a link below, and we can chat about if that is the right choice for you. So let's make this real. Let's work on mindset. If you had a plan like Laura's, if you had a structured plan, strength training, balance and mobility, core strength, one that actually worked for your body and your life, what would that change for you? Would you feel more confident? Would you do more things? Would you have less fear? Let me know what having a plan would be like for you. Let me know in the comments. I read every single one because I'm here to show you that you have options, to show you that you have choices, to remind you that you don't need to operate on fear, that having information is so useful and usable. You do not need to do this alone. Start smart, start small, and make your workouts work for you, because that's how exercise works, by making it work for you.